never ceases to amaze me. I go on social media, and I've been a little bit more active on social media than I have been in previous days, previous weeks, etc. It will never cease to amaze me the laziness that exists within society, and it's a problem that's getting worse, not better. There are pages on social media, particularly Facebook, with the title of side hustle ideas, stuff like that. And it struck me the other day that I was scrolling through looking for what people's ideas were, and there's some pretty decent ideas, starting service-based businesses like my own, etc. I mean, it works, proof's in the pudding, guys, you know what I mean? But I've seen on there people looking to make money from a laptop, people wanting to sort of seeking ideas to make as much money as possible in as little amount of time with as little amount of effort as possible, right? Triple threat. And you hear things like, oh, there's drop shipping this, and there's this, that, and the other, and there's sending emails, and there's being a VA, and blah, 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 and all this sort of stuff. Great. If it works for you, all power to you. It's not for me. But it does highlight an important message to be taken away from these kinds of people. And it is that, ultimately, society as a whole is getting lazier. And I just wanted to sort of, pose the question, right? If, the rich-poor gap divide is getting wider, more money's leaving people's pockets quicker than any time in history. We've got the highest tax burden since World War II, certainly in the UK. It's an utter cluster. And there's no wonder there's people looking for opportunities, people looking for alternatives. Who wouldn't, right? But think of it this way, right? In an atmosphere, in a country where people are so ultimately fucking lazy, how can you not succeed? Half the time, all you have to do is turn up and put the work in. And yet, that seems to be too much trouble for some people. I understand things that, things standing in people's way in terms of wanting to start a business, even on the side, and start small, grow big, or start small and just keep it as a one-man operation. Again, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with aspiration. But it grinds on me that so many people have, this ability. Never at any point in human history have we had such well-educated people surrounded by convenience of technology, and yet as a society we're stepping backwards. It's crackers. I'm seeing it on the streets that I clean windows on and my guys clean windows on, and I see what I'm seeing is ultimately people who are making a go of it, who have, they might have a window cleaning trolley, they might have a ladder and a bucket, they might have some small step up into a small business, and yet they are taking it. They are hustling, and they are making money. They are trying to make something of themselves, right? And sometimes they fail, and sometimes they succeed. But guess what? They're giving it a go, and fantastic to them. But half of these lizards on Faceache are just looking for an easy out. They're looking for as much money as can be made with as little in the way of effort to contribute to it. It's almost a parasitic behavior. How can I exploit X? I don't want to put too much effort in. I don't want to put too much money in. I don't want it to be too risky, but I want it all to come to me. And then there are people who are sort of saying, oh, well, there's not so much in the way of opportunity around. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Never at any point in human history have people in the West had the ability, right, to get their phone out of their pocket, go on Google, go on YouTube, and find shit out. Never in human history has such access to information existed. And yet, people just expect shit to come to them. It's beyond me. It's beyond me. But for those that are prepared to put the effort in, those are prepared to graft, those are prepared to actually fucking show up, you can't help but succeed. You can't help but succeed. All you have to do 9 times out of 10, is, to succeed in any given area related to the service-based industry is show up, answer the phone, be polite, be honest, have integrity. And if something's too much for you, just voice it. I made the mistake many years ago of trying to blag it with people. If I didn't understand something, I'd be like, oh yeah, I understand it. And on the phone, while I'm on the phone here and I've got my mobile down here going, how the fuck do you do that? And all this sort of stuff, and Googling how I do it and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, I'll be honest with you, I've taken that route and I've blagged it. Why? Sheer utter fear of not getting the job, not getting the money. Now, again, I'm not like that now, and I know better. If ultimately something's too much for me, I just stick my hand up and just say, look, I'm sorry, Mrs. Jones, this is not something that we do. It's not really my wheelhouse. I wish we could help you, but it's just not something we can do. And even that will stand you out from the crowd. Even telling a customer something is beyond you is so utterly rare that it stands out. Honesty, integrity, and a willingness to show up is so rare that people remember it and they go, he's a good lad, him. And yet people are saying there's no opportunity out there. There is so much in the way of opportunity. It's unbelievable. With the right amount of effort and the right amount of, access to information, with the right knowledge in the right sort of place at the right time, you can hit it on the head. But people are just not showing up. If you try something, it will go one of two ways. You will either fail or you will succeed. So it's 50-50, right? If you don't show up, it ain't gonna happen. I'll take 50% chance rather than 0% chance every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Just show up.